Take a look at this portable saw. At first glance, there's nothing portable about it at all. Today, if you were to tell someone you bought a portable sawmill, they're going to picture a wood miser on a trailer, or maybe a chainsaw rig you can throw in the back of a pickup. But at the turn of the century, portable sawmills meant something very different. These weren't designed to be towed by a car and cut a few logs in an afternoon. These were portable industrial factories that could be set up in the middle of nowhere in a matter of days, spend weeks or months milling heavy-duty logs, and then be disassembled and brought to the next logging site in a manner that was highly efficient and profitable. And to understand just how they accomplished this, today we're taking a look at this Bartley Sons Portable Sawmills catalog, which was printed over 100 years ago. By now you might be asking yourself, why did they need to build these portable sawmills at all when logs could be shipped directly to an established industrial sawmill and processed there? Back then, transporting wood out of the forest was a costly and highly labor-intensive ordeal. Every inch counted. After a log is milled, as much as 10 to 20% or more is lost to offcuts and sawdust. So, transporting whole logs meant hauling all of that extra waste lumber only for it to never be sold. Not to mention the efficiency of shipping round logs versus tightly packed dimensional lumber. This meant that in order for a lumberman's operation to be profitable, they had to do what might seem impossible. They built the factory in the woods, cut the trees, and milled them where they fell, shipped off the milled boards, and then moved the factory to the next location once that land was cleared. And to achieve this feat, Bartley had to make exceedingly high-quality tools that could be assembled and disassembled over and over again, while also withstanding brutally demanding production demands. This was a massive logistical undertaking, especially considering that some of their machines weighed several tons fully assembled. One feature that made this possible was their self-contained design, meaning that the bed of their mills were cast in one piece, serving as a unified base for the engine, arbor, and feed works, keeping all components in permanent alignment without external support. And because of this balanced design, this meant that they could be operated without the heavy support infrastructure or foundations usually required for stationary mills. This was a groundbreaking feature, pun intended. And Bartley didn't stop at machines for ripping logs into slabs. They even sold specialty machines that enabled their customers to maximize the value that they could extract from a logging site. This included their tower edger, which was used to take the natural edge off of boards to set them to dimensional widths. This helped further minimize the amount of waste that was transported from the logging site. And my favorite machine in this catalog, which was featured right at the beginning of this video, the Ireland Improved Shingle Machine. You could produce enough shingles to cover the roofs and siding of all the houses in an entire town, right in the middle of the woods. But now these machines are just a relic of the past. Since then, trucks got better, more roads got paved, and it became cheaper and more efficient to haul the logs to a massive centrally located mill than to drag the mill to the logs, and Bartley's portable sawmills became obsolete. But for a few decades, these iron giants roamed the American woods. They built the towns we live in. They framed the houses our grandparents were born in. They were portable in name, but they were permanent in their impact. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for more vintage tool history posted every week, and let me know in the comments if there's another catalog that you'd like to see featured.